Good morning, students. I'm sure you have your books with you. Please open to page number 111, that is 111. We were doing this chapter, Portia suitors. We have already completed the information about the first two suitors, that is the Neapolitan prince and County Palatine. I hope you remember that Portia and Nerissa, they were in conversation, they were talking to each other, and Nerissa was taking the name of the suitors and Portia was describing them. And according to Portia's description, as an audience, we were supposed to judge whether she likes that person or not. Even it was Nerissa's work to judge whether Portia likes that person or not. Right, so let's go through it. We've done till the County Palatine. We'll just revise it in short. The first suitor was Neapolitan prince. The problem with him was that he used to talk about his horses a lot, and he was like a young horse for Portia, as she felt that he only, he made it a great point that he can shoe his own horse. Apart from that, we have Neapolitan prince. The problem with him was that he would always frown. He'll never smile, even if there's a joke, if there's a merry tale. He'll never smile, he's always frowning. And he's filled with sadness. So a person who's so young and is filled with sadness, then of course, when he will grow old, he will turn into a weeping philosopher. That is what Portia is scared of. Okay, so let's continue now with the third one here. See, it is the name, it is given here, French Lord. So who was the third one? The French Lord. His name was Monsieur Le Bon. God made him and therefore let him pass for a man. So she says here, okay, God made him a man and therefore I accept him in that manner. In truth, I know it's a sin to be a mocker. So she says here, I know that it's a big sin when you make fun of a person. But she says, oh, but the problem with him, let's see. Why he has a horse that is better than Neapolitan's. He has a fierce habit of frowning than County Palatine. He is every man and no man. So he has got the qualities of the first two suitors. First, he has got better horses than Neapolitan prince. Second, he is good at frowning. He is better in frowning in comparison to County Palatine. So he has got the qualities of the other two suitors, but he has got no personality of his own. He has everybody else's characteristic, but no personality of his own. If a thrush sings, he immediately starts to dance about. So she says here, if you hear a bird singing, then he dances around. He will fence with his own shadow, and he is so dumb that he can even fight or fence with his own shadow. Nerissa, what do you have to say about Falconbridge, the young Baron of England? Now, a person from England, I'm sure he's very good in English. The same thing happens here. This young Baron of England knew English, and Portia, she had no idea about English. She only knew Latin, French, and Italian. These were the three languages spoken by Portia. Portia, turn it to page number 112. You know I say nothing to him, for he does not understand me. So she says, I don't say anything to him. He doesn't understand me, nor do I understand him. And the same goes for me. I don't understand him. He knows no Latin, French, or Italian. So he doesn't know these three languages. And you will bear witness that I do not have even a penny worth of understanding of English language. So she says here, you can take me and you can, actually swear. You can ask me to swear that I know nothing about English language, not even a penny worth knowledge, not even a single, slightest knowledge of language, English language. He certainly has appearance of a handsome man. However, he is so queerly dressed. Queerly dressed means oddly dressed. So she is saying, yeah, I know he's a handsome man, but the way he's dressed is very odd. I think he bought his tunic in Italy. So she says, I feel that he must have bought his tunic dress from Italy, his breeches in France, his lowers from France, his bonnet in Germany, his hat from Germany, and his manners from everywhere else. And he got his manners from everywhere else. Like, he has got the qualities, from here, there, everywhere, but he has got nothing of his own again. Nerissa, what is your opinion of the Scottish lord, his neighbor? Scottish lord, his neighbor means, Scottish people, okay, here it means that the Scotland is England's neighbor country, and somehow England people, they were ruling Scotland, Britishers again. However, she says, what do you think about the Scottish people? They, what about them? So here Portia is actually commenting on their political part. She says here, he certainly has a neighborly charity in him. Means when you see him, you can make out, oh yes, he is the product of charity. For here means because he received a box in the ear. A box in the ear is a kind of a slap on your ear, right? So she says here, he received a slap from the Englishman and swore, and he took an oath that he would pay him back when he was able to. So she's making fun of the Scottish people. She's saying, these Scottish people, they got a slap from England. England was ruling them, and now, they're waiting for the time when they can take revenge, when they can actually return that slap back to them. And they are trying to take whose help? French people. Right? I think the French man became his surety and signed the bond under his name. So she's making fun. She said, oh, they were waiting, they wanted to return the slab back to the England, and I think so they're waiting for the French to help them or support them. Right? I hope this much is clear. Nerissa. You need not fear, my lady. So she says, you don't have to be scared, my lady, in having to accept any of these lords. You don't have to fear that you'll have to accept any of these suitors. They have informed me. So she's saying that the suitors have informed me of their decision, of their choice, to return to their homes and to trouble you no more. That these suitors, these 5 suitors, they wish to go back home and they do not wish to trouble you anymore, unless you may be won by some means other than your father's imposition in depending on the casket. So she says here, there's no other way that somebody can marry you except the way your father has designed the lottery system. Means if anyone is willing to marry you, he will have to go through the lottery system, the casket system designed by your father. Portia. I shall probably, okay, she says here, I shall probably have to die an old maid unless someone can win me over by choosing the right casket. So Portia, she's feeling sad. She says here, oh, I feel that I'll die like this, unmarried, unless someone chooses the right casket. However, I'm glad that this set of suitors are being so reasonable and departing, for there is not one among whom I can favor. So she says here, I'm glad means I'm happy that this set of suitors, all these princes who are sitting there, are being so reasonable. Means they are actually, using their logic, using their brain, and departing from here. And they're leaving from here because not even a single suitor here, not even a single suitor is worth that I'll feel a loss. She doesn't like them at all. So she says here, not even a single suitor is good enough that I'll feel bad if they're leaving. Nerissa, do you remember, my lady, a young Venetian scholar and soldier who had to visit us with the Marquis of Montferrat when your father was alive? So now Nerissa is reminding Portia of Bassanio. You remember Bassanio? So she's reminding her that, do you remember when your father was alive? There was this man who came to a place. His name was Bassanio. He was from Venice. He was a scholar, a soldier, and he came with Marquis of Montferrat. He was the person who was ruling at that time there when your father was alive. Portia, yes, yes, I think he was called Bassanio. I also remember him to be a man worthy of thy praise. So she says, yes, I do remember him. He is actually worthy of your praise. Means he is the man who deserves your praise. You should praise him. He deserves it. He was a good person. Enters servant. Now when they were talking, who enters in? A servant. The 4 suitors are looking for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner from a 5th. So maybe the servant must have miscounted. There are 5 here, and he said that the 4 suitors, they are waiting for you to say goodbye. They are waiting for you to say, to give them the permission to leave. And there is a forerunner from a 5th, and there's a forerunner means there's another messenger who is coming from the 5th suitor. So maybe another suitor is about to arrive, about to come. He'll be here tonight, means this other suitor or his prince. Okay, I'll read it. The prince of Morocco who brings word that his master, the prince, will be here tonight. So who's the next suitor? Prince of Morocco. So he says here there's a messenger at the gate. He has come with the message that his master, Prince of Morocco, will be here tonight. Portia, oh, if I could welcome him as happily as I can bid these other 4 goodbye. So she says, I wish I could welcome him so happily the way I'm saying goodbye to them. Come, lead the way as we shut gates upon one set of wooers, another knocks at the door. So she says here, come Portia, let's go. As we close the gate on one set of suitors, another one is already at the gate. I hope you've understood the story. They all exit, so finally they all leave. So it's a nice chapter, and it's about it's about the different suitors. Suitors, you understand, the boys who, they've come with a marriage proposal, right? So finally, Portia, she had all these 5 suitors. They wanted to marry Portia, but after hearing the 3 conditions attached to the casket system, they refused. Right? What 3 conditions were, you can do that later on. Come to the new words now. Devised means came up or invented. So what he did, he invented a different thing. He came up with a different casket thing. Abundance, access. Superfluity, more than enough. Colt, young horse, fence, fight. Pennyworth, very little. Imposition, stricture. Now understand, just do one thing. Write the name of the chapter and copy the new words. Come to the questions part. Answer the following in your own words. Number 1, what did Nerissa mean by what warmth is there? Okay, Nerissa meant to say that what feelings do you have for the suitors who are already here? What kind of affection, what kind of feelings do you have for them? Right, understand here. Nerissa is wanted to judge what feelings does Portia have for the suitors who are already there. These 5 suitors, okay? What kind of man was Neapolitan prince? See, come back to page number 111. It is given here. Cut A. A means yes, so you can cut it. He is a colt indeed for Portia, as he does nothing but talk about his horse, and he makes it a great point in his own favor that he can shoe his own horse. This much is your answer, just about Neapolitan prince. You can change it in your own words if you want, but that's the answer. Where they talk about Neapolitan prince. right? What did Portia think about County Palatine? Come back to the same page and mark the whole para. He does nothing but frown, as one would say, if you will not have me, you may choose anyone you like. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he'll prove to be a weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I would rather, okay, in his youth till here. Okay, now wherever it says I, don't write I. You can write Portia thinks, Portia feels, right? So that's how you do it. Just give me a minute. All right, so let's continue. After that, okay, wherever Portia is saying I, you'll be changing it to Portia fears, Portia says. Is that clear? Don't write I, because you don't have to talk about yourself and your feelings for him. Okay, after question number 3, come to describe Falcon Bridge again on page number 1112. No, 112, I'm sorry. See here, the topmost. Portia. We have to describe Falcon Bridges. Portia says nothing to him, for he does not understand Portia, nor Portia understands him. Change the words, okay? Don't write I. Please make sure that you're talking about Portia, not about yourself. He knows no Latin, French, or Italian and will. Okay, and Portia, you can cut this line. You will bear witness that I do not. Cut this part and write Portia knows she has no knowledge of English language. He certainly has the appearance of a handsome man. However, he is so queerly dressed. Portia thinks that he bought his tunic in Italy, his breeches in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his manners from everywhere else. Will you be able to change the words and write the answers in your own words? If you have any problem, please do let me know, right? I'll do one thing again. I'll send the PDF so that you'll have an idea how to write the answers. See, if you have problem, do let me know, okay? See the next part. Answer the following with reference to context. Who was Portia talking to and about what? Portia was talking to Nerissa about the different suitors who had come to try their luck. Or you can just write Portia was talking to Nerissa about the suitors who were present there. What assurance did she get from the person she was talking to? So Portia was talking to which person? Nerissa. What assurance Nerissa gives? It is here, page number 112. See Nerissa's speech under the picture of the suitor. This one, this speech. See this one. Okay. So she tells Portia that she need not fear in having to accept any of these lords. Underline it. As these suitors have informed Nerissa of their decision to return to their homes and to trouble Portia no more. Till here. Just first two lines. What assurance means what surety did she give to Portia? She tells Portia that, see, you do not have to worry about these suitors because they have already told me that they wish to go back home and to trouble you no more. That's the answer. Okay, if you feel that there's a doubt, you can always pause, rewind the video and watch it again. Right? Just try. I'm helping you out. See the third one. Why do you think were the suitors being reasonable? Suitors were reasonable. It is here itself. As they preferred to go back home and not to trouble Portia. The same answer, the above answer, but in a different way. The suitors were being reasonable as they thought of returning back home and not to trouble Portia. That's the answer. Come to the fifth one. Oh, I'm sorry, fourth one. Which other character was mentioned to Portia by the person she was talking to? Nerissa even mentioned Bassanio. Page 112, last para. See, Portia mentioned a young Venetian scholar and a soldier who had to visit them with Marquis of Montferrat when her father was alive. Right? What opinion did Portia harbor about the person mentioned? Means what kind of feelings Portia had for that person. That's what you can write here. Portia remembered him to be a man worthy of praise. The last line. Portia remembered him to be a man worthy of praise. You can write Bassanio's name in the answer number 4. You can write Nerissa mentioned Bassanio, a young Venetian scholar and soldier who had to visit them with the Marquis of Montferrat when her father was alive. So that is how it goes, right? So we have done all the question and answers here. Just mark them and please solve them. Just try solving them. If you have problem, then only call me or then only send me the messages. At least try writing answers in your own words, or try writing answers on your own. I'm sorry, not in your own words, I meant try on your own, right? Okay, that is it for today. We'll continue with the rest in the next video. Thank you.